name is Jody Coonley. I'm a pediatric nurse practitioner, and I'm here at Rainbow Kids Clinic. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about car seats and when to move your child from one seat to the next stage of car seat. I'm a CPST, that's a Certified Passenger Safety Technician. What that means is I have special training and certification in installing and advising about car seats. As you know, there are many different styles, prices, and options when it comes to car seats. Finding the right one for your child can sometimes be overwhelming. If you have any questions, you can please feel free to contact me here at Rainbow Kids Clinic, or I'm also searchable on Safe Kids Worldwide website. The first thing to learn and remember is that all car seats, price, it doesn't matter how much the seat costs, they all pass the same safety regulations. So whether your seat is a $40 seat or a $500 seat, the seats are equally safe and pass the same safety standards, but some do offer extra bonus protection, padding, ease of use, and installation. This is called an RFO seat, rear facing only. They're also commonly known as infant seats, carrier seats, or bucket seats. These seats can generally be used from birth until about 12 to 18 months of age. Your child is going to outgrow the height way before they outgrow the weight on these seats. This information can be found on the side sticker of all of the car seats. It says you can only use it to a maximum of 32 inches or 32 pounds. When placing your child in a rear-facing seat, you need to make sure the straps are at or below the child's shoulders. I check this by placing 2 fingers on the top of the shoulder and reaching directly backwards. If your fingers are going into the slot or the slot is below your fingers, you are good. If the strap is above the shoulders, you need to move them down to the next lower slot. Do not use any car seat products that did not come with your seat. These are strap pads, headrests, and anything else that was not crash tested with the seat. Car seat manufacturers do not recommend these as they were not safety tested. When using a rear-facing only seat, you can install it using a base, or you can install it using the hooks with the seat belt. Installing is a much more complicated process, and you need to have the right seat for your car, and that's not what we're going over today. But if you do have questions, please feel free to contact me. If you're worried about head tilt in your newborn, meaning their head is slouching from one side to the next, and the car seat padding that came with your seat doesn't provide the protection you're desiring, you can use a rolled up receiving blanket placed from the top of the head down the length of the body on either side of the seat. We do not want anything going over top the infant's head, as this can push pressure down on the head and put your child in a chin to chest position. The next car seat we're going to talk about is called a convertible seat. These seats can face backwards as well as forwards, and some even convert to booster seats. We do recommend that your child stay rear facing until at least 2 years of age. This is a change in current recommendation. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends rear facing for as long as possible, meaning that you can rear face as long as the car seat says that the child can. In this seat, the case of this seat, it can rear face to 45 pounds. My 6-year-old could still rear face in the harness in this seat. A lot of times parents worry about when the child is rear facing about the leg room. Children often pull their legs up into the seat anyways and are not really bothered by the leg room that they have in their seat. Facing forward is going to increase the chances of a head and neck injury, whereas that can be more devastating to a child rather than a leg fracture that can heal within a few weeks. As with all seats, this seat has a sticker on the side of the seat telling you what the maximum height, weight, and recommendation for the harness weight on the seat. Once you strap your child in, if you're rear facing, you need to make sure you're at the proper angle for a rear facing seat, and that the shoulder straps are at or below the shoulders. When forward facing, make sure that you change the angle of the seat to be appropriate for forward facing, and make sure the shoulder straps are at or above the shoulders. This you can easily adjust the harness to the height that you need. The strap in the back is called a top tether anchor. This needs to be used when your child is in a forward-facing position and needs to be secured properly to the tether anchor in your vehicle. If you're unsure where a tether anchor is located, you can refer to your car's manual and look for the special indicator tabs that show you where the top tether anchor is. You do not use these when rear-facing. Most car seats do not allow these, and even ones that used to allow it do not allow it anymore. These are the lower anchors meant to secure this seat. Right now, it's routed through the forward-facing strap position. If a child was using this seat and rear-facing, you would need to take this strap out and place it through the rear-facing loop. These lower anchors can be used until 40 pounds of the child. Once the child is more than 40 pounds, you need to install the seat using the seat belt. If you have questions about installation and changing from lower anchor installation to seat belt installation, please refer to your car's manual, your car seat manual, or contact a CPST. This seat is called a combination seat, meaning that this seat can forward face with a harness, or the harness can be removed and it can be used as a booster. These seats cannot be used rear-facing. A lot of times, people mistakenly buy these seats, seeing the harness, thinking that they can use it rear-facing. Be sure to read the description of the car seat that you have chosen and make sure that it is appropriate for what your intended use is. This seat is appropriate for children that are forward-facing and can use a harness up to 65 pounds. If your child was in a seat that maxed out at 40 pounds, and they're not quite old enough for a booster, this would be a great seat to get, a combination seat, where you will still use the harness until the child is of age to use the booster, and then it can be converted to the booster seat. This seat has similar features as the other seat, and it has a headrest that can be changed with just a simple pull to adjust those shoulder straps at or above the shoulders. With any seat, when you place your child in the seat, you need to make sure that the chest clip is right in between the armpit level and that there's not a lot of slack around the hips. Often, I see children in seats with the straps way too loose. Even if the child is not in the car, as in the infant seat, and being carried around places, the strap should always be secured on your child in a nice, snug fashion. We do not want to see children slip around in the seat, even when they're just laying in it. When this seat is ready to be converted into a booster, the straps will be taken off, and the seat belt will be threaded through this latch right here, and will go underneath the arm, the opposite arm. Make sure that you follow all directions for installation by looking at the car seat manual as well as your car manual. This seat, just like the others, has instructions and weight limits on the side of the seat. So if you're ever worried about, I can't remember when to use the seat, then just check that sticker. This seat, as well as the other one, has a top tether anchor that needs to be attached to the rear anchor, tether anchor to your vehicle. Make sure that that is secured and that the strap is attached to the lower anchors when using as a harnessed seat. When the child is more than 40 pounds, you do need to use a seatbelt installation. This is a high back booster seat. Your child will be ready for this when they're around age 5 to 6 years old and can maturely sit in the seat appropriately with just the seatbelt strap. Some children that are not quite mature ready for a booster seat can still use the forward-facing harness seat. There are seats that can harness up to 90 pounds. So even if you have a larger child, they can still stay in a harness until the appropriate age when they're ready for a booster seat. This booster seat, again, has adjustable headrest that allows you to position the shoulder strap at the right spot for your child. You place the seatbelt through the strap, goes across the child's shoulder, and goes here where the other red line is on the seat. This seat does not attach to the car in any way. It just sits on the seat, and the child's weight holds the seat in place along with the seat belt. There are some seats, booster seats, that do have lower anchor attachments. It's not to hold the child in any way, it's just to hold the seat in the place in case there's not a child riding in the seat, so that the seat does not slide all over the vehicle. When your child is older, probably about 7 to 8 years old, and even up to 10 to 12, they will then need to use it as a backless booster. When your child has outgrown the height capacity of the seat with the back attached, you can detach the back and use it just as a booster seat. They do sell plain boosters as well, which are appropriate for 7 to 12 years of age. Your child needs a booster until they can sit in the seat and have their back flat against the back of the seat, their knees bent at the edge, feet placed flat on the floor. The lap belt goes across the child's hips and not across their abdomen. And the seat belt needs to go across the child's shoulder bone and not across their face or their neck. This seat, just like with the back, just sits in the seat and the child's weight holds it down. The seat does come with a little red D-ring that attaches to the back of the seat and helps adjust that shoulder belt at the correct position if, when this child sits in the seat, it doesn't position itself by itself. These are easy for travel, and a lot of people would like to use them as a travel seat for their younger child, even though it may not be appropriate. You can contact me here at Rainbow Kids Clinic if you have any questions about your child's car seat. There's also CPSTs at the Sheriff's Department here in Montgomery County. Please look if we do run events throughout the county throughout the year. If you're interested in attending a car seat check event, you can find them by looking at the Safe Kids Worldwide website. Some things to remember is that as your child grows, you need to periodically reassess and make sure your child is in the appropriate seat. As once your child hits 40 pounds, remember that you need to install your seat using a seat belt instead of the lower anchors. And as your child grows, making sure that those straps stay at or below for rear facing or at or above for forward facing. At each well check, we can give you the child's current height and weight, and you can ask questions about the car seat you have and if it is appropriate for your child. Thank you.